Welcome to Kubota High Limit. California is known for producing some of the sport's most accomplished dirt track racers, including Kyle Larson, Brad Sweet, and Rico Abreu. But today, it's the young gun, Corey Day, who will be trying to write his name in the history books.
Super slider, turn 3-4. He's going to park Bluefield. Bluefield's upside down, collects Corey Day. It will be 6 sprint car wins in a row. Kyle Larson wins at the Thunderball. Justin Sanders got together with Corey Day, giving him the single finger salute there.
2 races into the California swing, Corey Day is having a rough start.
Brandon Sweet off of turn number 4. Who's it going to be at the line? McFadden. It's Sweet. Sweet got him. It's a hat trick.
Brad Sweet is at the top of his game now. He's at the top of sprint car racing.
You know, I was the golden child there, but then I left for the WWE, and now I'm the villain. I think it's just what the fans want. I love being the villain.
Rico is probably one of maybe the only driver you could argue is bigger than the sport itself. He'll just come walking with the video. Hey dude, what's up, man? Ready to rip tonight?
Tyler Courtney, he stepped his program up big time this year.
I just raced dirt all year.
James McFadden probably was at the highest level that I've ever seen James be at.
And there it is, the shoey.
Brett Marks is just a good dude.
He's low key, but he's there to kick your ass.
If something's going wrong, there's only one person to look at, and that's myself in the mirror.
Chris Wyndham, you could see that guy go on a tear.
Competition level this year is through the roof.
Justin Peck, Big Peck Energy. He loves that nickname.
I was always the guy that just stood on the gas, throttle now, ask questions later.
Corey Day is the next big thing.
He's a superstar in the making.
It's evident to everyone in the country that this kid's gonna be the real deal.
How about a round of applause for our 16 high rollers here this year, ladies and gentlemen.
Who's it going to be at the line? James, no!
Are you ready to go sprint car racing?
We are green.
The Gold Cup Race of Champions, one of the crown jewels in our sport. It's $100,000 to win.
Gold Cup's always been a party crowd. I don't think there's a race out there that is just focused on the entertainment value.
What the
The Gold Cup Race of Champions really define a sprint car driver's season. It's where you can make your most money. It's where you can sell your most shirts. It's where you can really make a name for yourself.
The California swing of Kubota High Limit continues on to the Gold Cup Race of Champions for the biggest payday of the year. Brad Sweet, co-owner and promoter of the Silver Dollar Speedway, has his hands full behind the scenes.
I think we have enough White Claws and stuff over here. And at the party tonight, we're not pouring Coors Light or 805. I just told farmers will try to move more of their beer tonight.
Makes sense.
Silver Dollar Speedway is basically one of the reasons I am where I am, and I think Kyle is where he is. Just, you know, every year the Gold Cup was an event that me and my family went to, and it just had such a big impression on me growing up as a kid. It was just pure entertainment, you know, kids being kids, and there's 65 acres of fenced-in area that's the fairgrounds for the community to come and have events. You know, it was just fun. It was going through a downtime. You know, racing in California has struggled. You know, we took it over because we felt like it just needed some new blood in there that could help, you know, kind of reconnect with the city of Chico and, you know, try to help build the 410 class back up out here in California. You know, that track gave me the memories. I want to do that for the next generation of kids, and I just, You'll go to a point where you feel like you have to step in or it's gonna die. And I think it was there, and luckily we were able to step in and help that event. And in 3 years, we've taken it from a 10,000 win event with 30 cars to a 100,000 win event with 65 410s in the pit. So I'm proud that we are doing it.
Gold Cup, you don't just show up and race. Every night there's glow party, bikini contest, like there's stuff going on.
We feed the campers. We open our bar every day in the pavilion at noon. We had the Kenny Wallace pre-race show. We had a concert, pit crew challenge.
To be able to race and then go hang out and party and get your mind off of what just happened, that's really nice.
You know, not everybody's a hardcore dirt sprint car fan. And so to grow the sport, we need these events that create something for everybody.
You guys all good?
He's gonna help me quick go get that big sound box.
Did you guys chase any girls around last night? No? Did you find those two that were on that golf cart? No? Disappeared, huh? Well, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Remember that. Y'all good, Jacob? You guys good? You good, Darren? Y'all good over here? Good luck tonight. Sell some beer. When I was coming into Silver Dollar, there's so many details that go into executing an event that we never would have realized until you do it, and nobody realizes. Okay, how wet is it right now? Why'd you put the car here, Andy? Just bring me the change. All right, thanks guys for coming out.
It's a busy, busy week. It's action-packed, and like, if you're not on top of things, you're gonna miss out.
Good, so I'm gonna put you behind Spencer.
Do you want me to bring any more cases to the course can't over? It's not like you put the plan in motion and it just runs smooth. It's like, there's just always something that pops up that you have to handle and take care of. This person needs to know where to go. This person decided to come, or this person's not coming. You gotta have the ticket takers, the ambulance, the beer staff, the food, the novelty. The list goes on, and that's just one side of the program. Then you have the pits, you have the competition, you have the track prep. I have no idea what the track's gonna do, I'll be honest. You have all the events outside of the racing. Let's move these bleachers back just a little bit. How many cases of water are you gonna take over there? There is so much when I go to Gold Cup that I'm focused on before I even think about the actual race. You put a little more water on it? It's not taking it. My vision is just I want every detail to be perfect. That's what's tough. It's like, it's hard for me to enjoy it. I'm so worried about all the details that it's almost more enjoyable when it's just over.
Okay.
So, Caitlin, what year did you do the bikini contest?
I have never done the bikini contest, guys.
Oh, I thought you were a past winner. That's why you're out there.
A past winner. What?
Isn't that how you and Kyle met?
Wow. Interesting.
A bikini contest, you know, the Gold Cup, it's been going on for years and years, so that's the kind of highlight of the weekend.
So it's my job this week to recruit the girls. We're headed to Bottoms Up Espresso. Apparently, it's a coffee shop where they wear bikinis. So you can recruit some girls. And my creepers in the back seat are
here for support.
They're moral support, yeah. I have a flyer for this Friday. We have a bikini contest at the racetrack. Okay, I got another entry. Did you follow it?
I liked it on accident.
Oh. Oh, this girl's in her bikini, guys. Oh my God. Okay, hold on. I'll be right back. Hey, party people. I work at the racetrack up the road.
This is awesome. I've never seen Caitlin like that. It's the Brad in her.
I'm hosting a bikini contest, and it's $5,000 to win. And I see that you're all in your bikinis. So I'm gonna give you this flyer and hope you come out. You guys have a really good chance, just so you know. That girl said, she said, I'll be there.
What an eye. You're like, look at this girl running in a bikini.
Okay. 3 minus.
Good job. Okay, what's next? There's your 8. How much are you taking away?
6.
Okay, go ahead. Take away 6.
0. Yeah, here, I want you to.
Okay, what do you got?
Oh, are you left-handed now?
It's subtraction.
Oh.
If you're gonna give the answer, at least give the right one.
And the 5-time World of Outlaw champion in 49, the big cat, Brad Sweet.
Brad Sweet is at the top of his game now. He's at the top of sprint car racing. He's the guy. You come for the king, you best not miss. Brad Sweet's the king right now.
He won 5 straight World of Outlaws sprint car titles. Who's better in a wing sprint car than Brad Sweet? Nobody.
Literally, if you ask every teacher from, third grade on, what are you gonna be when you grow up? Race car driver, You just sit at the desk and just race pencils all day long and draw race cars and get into high school. What are you gonna be? It's like, I'm gonna be a race car driver. Like, once I set my mind to it, I never changed it. I remember calling my dad and saying, hey, I can't be successful living in California and racing local tracks. Like, I need to go to Indiana and just try to make a name for myself. And so at 19, I just went to Indiana on a hope and a prayer. When I was younger, I always wanted to be a wing sprint car driver. That was kind of my passion, desire. I grew up racing in winged outlaw karts, and so then it was like, okay, I'm gonna go on the World of Outlaw tour. Just remember 2017, sitting at the second place table at the banquet, and Donnie Schatz had won like 5 straight championships, and every year it was just, the banquet was about Donnie Schatz.
In 2017, he was like, I'm never getting beat again. Like, I'm not sitting at the second table. And he came home and he literally changed his mindset. I mean, he was meal plans and working out twice a day. And then all of a sudden, things started ticking off.
I wrote it on the whiteboard, just 2019 World of Outlaw champion. And I was able to go accomplish that. Those pressure-packed situations, that defines who you are. Are you the clutch guy, or are you the guy that crumbles when it comes down to those moments? And from that moment on, it's like you understand how to go to that level. All you can do is just work as hard as you possibly can. And that's kind of my mantra at this point. It's just like, I'm unbeatable. I'm relentless. You can't beat me because I'll just outwork you. That's just who I've become, and I'm just excited for where that's going to take me in life.
The hardest tour in motorsports, World of Outlaws. He dominates that world for 5 years. He is just precision and aggression, but away from the track, that's the Brad Sweet that is even more aggressive. He's a great businessman. He just wants to see the sport he loves grow.
High Limit Racing, kind of started as an idea to get more fans' eyes on sprint car racing. We were, adding these races with Kyle, and we were paying big purses. Us drivers had more midweek races that we could race for extra money. We kind of presented it as hey, if the World of Outlaws work with us and let the drivers race these midweek races, then we would probably just stay in our lane and let them kind of be the leader of the industry, and we would just kind of be this cool midweek thing that's an added value for the drivers and for the fans. And they didn't do it. They said, no, you can only run a couple of them. That's when I was kind of like, man, that doesn't sound like that's in the best interest of the drivers or the team owners. It's more about what they want. So decided to do a national series. I felt like I could maybe drive the whole sport of sprint car racing to the next level. I could help the drivers and teams be more successful. I thought we could give more entertainment to the fans. I believed that it was the next chapter for me. Having my brother-in-law, Kyle, and we're so passionate about this thing, it's like we're looking at it from all the different angles, and we love the sport. As long as we stay true to ourselves and true to our core values of trying to help sprint car racing, I don't see why we won't be successful.
Go horse racing.
We're not racing today. We're not racing today. Believe it or not, we're not racing today.
What's the difference between racing and riding?
One's more dangerous, or?
Which one's more dangerous?
I say horseback riding's more dangerous.
That one is.
You think racing's more dangerous?
You could literally die.
No. Oh, jeez. We took that to the next level. Okay, cut. When you're racing young, you think the race is the end of the world and it's everything, but then you have a child, and for me it's being a parent's way more important than any race I've ever been in. It's way more gratifying. It just means so much more substance to my life, having Savannah and our family. I just really want to be the best dad I can be, and I want to be there for Savannah as much as I possibly can as she grows up. You just get one chance at life, and it's I've accomplished a lot in racing, so I don't know how much longer I go making the sacrifice of not, missing things with her. So as she gets older, we'll see how it kind of plays out, but trying to find a balance is hard between being a dad and racing, for sure.
All right, it'll be $50, please.
Thank you very much. No problem, bud. Thank you for getting a shirt.
You're welcome.
I feel like with my shortness and stature, the kids have been really drawn to me and, my personality, and that for them to feel like they see similarities, and I'm just older, or someone their size but with a beard.
Rico Abreu is probably the single best personality we have in sprint car racing. Rico is the only driver that you could argue is bigger than the sport itself. Rico is a guy that draws fans from NASCAR. He draws fans from late models. He draws fans that would have no connection at all to any racing.
Hi guys, thanks for coming tonight.
He's a fun time to be around. He's always happy.
He's got that big smile. He's got that frickin' killer head of hair. He's an incredible marketer. He's great at his merchandise. Rico is an absolute star in sprint car racing.
It's important for me to never allow a fan to have a bad experience at an event, because ultimately, without fans, there's no high limit, there's no sprint car racing.
Hi, Gus, the famous dog.
Gus is my 25-pound golden doodle that comes everywhere with us.
Aren't you attractive?
We're very lucky that Gus is a loving dog to anybody who approaches him.
Hey there, little fella.
My merch is a form of income for my living and my race team, and I praise my wife, Megan. She does an amazing job. I don't know how she does it every single weekend. I've really focused on wanting to be the best race car driver, supply people with the best merchandise, and have the best online social presence, grow that outside of motorsports with this inspiring story of someone that's, I'm not gonna put myself as having a disability, but just having difficult challenges, with my shortness and stature, and people becoming inspired by, watching my career develop.
Rico Abreu is your winner.
St. Helena is a small town north of San Francisco in the heart of wine country. So growing up here, having a farming background from my mother and father's side of the family, we've always had this intrigue with dirt, and we've always been outdoor guys and been able to grow up, in the field. And I look at that at being at the racetrack and, seeing racetracks develop. Definitely a lot of similarities just in different professions, and it's really cool to try to conquer that in two totally different markets in the world now. So I'm a little guy, I'm a little person. I was born with a form of dwarfism called achondroplasia, so I'm 4'4". I think I haven't grown in a few years. But honestly, I'm very fortunate that I was raised in a small town, that everybody's very accepting and loving, and wanted to see me succeed in life in no matter what direction that I went. So it allowed me to have confidence right away in anything that I wanted to do. So I look at things just never being limited to anything I would want to put my foot down and try to do, and never putting myself in a position where I say I can't do that, and figuring out ways how to do it. If I can't reach something at the top of the cupboard, you grab a chair and you stand on the chair and you climb up there and you grab the wine glass and you bring it down and you pour yourself a glass of wine. I've been very fortunate to be in those circumstances and following my dreams and with whatever direction I wanted to take them. I'm the first in our family to be associated with racing. Pretty cool to have something that you've fallen in love with. I've been intrigued with all sports and wanted to be an athlete, and I feel that, racing, no matter your size or weight, I feel that you can be a race car driver. I mean, if you work hard enough at it, you can definitely follow those dreams. Everything I can physically reach and touch and do, no different than the average race car driver. And I feel like once you're in the race car, nothing matters. It's just the guy that, ultimately wins the race is the best performed team of the night. This is where I learned how to race. That's when I became friends with Kyle Larson, and our friends at the go-kart races would come over and we'd have these little competition races in between race weekends. So A lot of great memories here. Probably haven't been out there in 10 or 12 years where I actually raced, but we still keep it in like pristine condition. And these redwood trees is our catch fence and noise barrier. This track was built on like a sloped hill. Very unique. It's got like a 2% slope, an 1/8 mile go-kart track here in the heart of the Napa Valley in St. Helena. So we have a racetrack on some expensive vineyard land. It's a really cool spot. And that's really where it started for me in go-kart racing, and where I found my competitiveness in motorsports and found something that I could do and be competitive at. So, you know, I really pushed myself once I got a taste of winning races, and for me to come out here after school and get to run laps on the weekends when there wasn't races, and just kind of really accelerated my learning curve, you know, and I adapted that right into the sprint car stuff. You know, this basically from go-karts to sprint cars became, you know, my life. I still have the track record here.
We were all feeling good. You know, we'd won Gold Cup the year before, so it's always nice to come back to a race knowing that you're all capable of winning it.
This race just means a lot to me in general. My dad raced this race as a kid, so I grew up coming here. I know any of these guys that are here can be really good. I mean, the 49 is gonna be good, regardless, you know, how the track is.
We had a busy week. We crashed at Placerville on Saturday and had this car fixed and rebuilt it. And we're 100% confident in the piece we put together for Brad for this weekend. This race is really important to him and his family, and gonna try and give him the best opportunity to win a Gold Cup that we can.
Brad Sweet, going into his 20th Gold Cup, it's amazing that he's never won this event. You're talking about a guy who's a 5-time World Outlaw champion. He's won the Knoxville Nationals. He's won 2 Kings Royal. He's won almost everything in the sport. And this event that he now promotes, an event that is so close to his heart and his home state for his entire life. The Gold Cup is what he knows. He hasn't won this event yet.
Okay, I'm going in. Wish me luck. All right, love you.
Love you. Good luck. See ya.
Thanks. Yeah, see you after. What? I already gave her one. Oh, thanks. Okay, love you. Okay. See ya. Love you too, babe.
Silver Dollar Speedway. Welcome to the High Limit Room.
By the time I run my prelim night on Thursday, I've been there 4 or 5 days and been working nonstop. But once I get in the car, I always feel like I'm right back where I need to be, you know, and that's just experience.
We are green. Chase Johnson with the early race lead over Sean Becker. Brad Sweet from 5th to 2nd on the opening lap here. Brad Sweet sees an opening to the inside. Turn number 1 slides in front of Chase Johnson for the lead. Corey Day to the outside of Johnson. And off of turn number 4, Brad Sweet leads lap number 6. Corey Day down to the inside. Slide job for that position off of turn number 2. Corey Day to the top spot.
I got right there. I believe I took the lead, and then Corey got by me. But I was still running second and running well.
Here comes a slider for the race lead into turn 1. Brad Sweet takes it back away. Corey Day back to the inside, down the back straightaway. Corey Day in the thick of lap traffic. Brad Sweet off the top, loses some ground. Day gonna go to the top in turn 1. Brad Sweet goes to the bottom, side by side for the race lead off of turn number 2. For new leader, Brad Sweet takes the lead with 7 laps to go. Brad Sweet to the lead. Corey Day around the outside, barely sneaks between the right rear Brad Sweet and the outside of the racetrack. 3 laps to go as Corey Day continues. Oh, Brad Sweet's off the track and into the wall. Brad Sweet hit the wall in turn 4 and is looking the wrong direction. That is huge. That is a huge moment in the points here for the Gold Cup Race of Champions, Brad.
You do not see Brad do that very often at all.
Brad Sweet with a very uncharacteristic mistake here in this feature, coming off a turn 4 and just hooked the cushion and not much to lean on the exit. It looked like he just clobbered the styrofoam walls over there.
We got into lap traffic, and I tried to run the top in 3 and 4, and I got tight on entry, and I basically knew I was wrecking as soon as I entered. Just entered a little bit too straight, and that cushion there just gets tricky. It's a good question to even ask myself if there's too many distractions or not, because I typically don't make a mistake in the race car like I did. I wouldn't say that I have the best answer for that, because I was super busy with everything else going on, and it is a lot at Silver Dollar.
Corey Day off the top of turn number 2 and down the back straightaway. Has not been back to Silver Dollar Speedway since last year's Gold Cup triumph. He'll pick up right where he left off. He wins night 1 with the Gold Cup Race of Champions. Spencer Mason second, third spot to Chase Johnson, fourth to Chris Wyndham, and fifth goes to Shane Golovic.
Corey Day picked up right where he left off last year. Comes back to defend his Gold Cup title, and what does he do? He goes 8th to first, beats Brad Sweet, drives right by him, and wins Thursday night at the Gold Cup. He's locked in for $100 grand on Saturday.
And it's real unfortunate, I'm sorry.
Oh, it's all good.
Really, one of the big stories is Brad Sweet, leading the first 25 laps or so, ended up going over the edge, bringing out a caution. It put a real hurting on his chance to lock in on Saturday, and it's gonna bury him in a heat race too. Really puts a damper on earning his first Gold Cup.
This place it suits my style really well. Big curb, and my race car's just really good here. So good to get a win after the swing we've had. It's been a little disappointing. We've had pretty high hopes with the fact that we used to win out here all the time. So no reason why we shouldn't be doing it now. So
how about it, Chico, California, Corey Day.
I drew 7, it'll be greasy tonight. Brad will get a couple extra laps with the water truck. Usually we give Brad Sweet a hard time because this is Chico, so this is his event, and he likes to drive the water truck, so we say the track's gonna be overwatered.
He loves.
We always call it the High Limit Aqua Series. 90 miles that way. It's my steering wheel, bent, too many crashes, but I've had my steering wheel my whole career, sprint car racing. 14 years, this is my 14th season. We fabricated it so it's closer to me when I oversteer. When I turn, I like with my shortness in arms, I run out of reach, and the steering wheel becomes a little bit closer as I'm crossed up. So this has become a very sentimental piece to my life. It'll probably go in my grave with me.
Silver Dollar Speedway, we got them racked, we got them stacked, we are green. Tanner Thorson, great start there, right off the jump, gets by Rico Abreu for second, but Abreu powers back around on the outside to take the spot right back away. Race for third to turn 1. James McFadden is up into the third spot. McFadden gets by Neto off of turn 2. Tanner Thorson looking for that first win of the season with Kubota High Limit Racing. Thorson has a look to the inside, side by side for the lead off of turn number 4. Rico is surging around trying to find speed. He knows that Thorson's breathing down his neck down the back straightaway. Coming up on 5 laps to go, Abreu cannot clear Goodyear down the backstretch. Tanner Thorson to the inside, turn 3, and they are going at it tooth and nail for the race lead. Rico got to get up on the wheel. Schlotfeld slides on the racetrack. Tanner Thorson to the lead down the front straightaway. Tanner Thorson takes the lead, turn 1. Oh boy, 2 laps to go for Tanner Thorson. Looking for what will be the biggest win in his sprint car career if he can do it. Tanner Thorson is going to win night 2 of the Gold Cup Race of Champions.
Friday night Gold Cup was a little bit of a surprise. Tanner Thorson comes in and just straight up beats Rico Abreu at his own game and as a 30-lap non-stopper.
Make some noise! Tanner Thorson, your winner on night 2 of the Gold Cup Race of Champions.
How about it for the Silver Dollar Speedway in the bikini contest? Who's excited? Yeah. Good, me too.
Gold Cup bikini contest. The year before, I couldn't be a bikini contest judge because I wasn't 18. So now I'm legal.
All right, Chico, let's get loud. Let's start this thing. we get to ask them questions. Who's your car insurance through? What would you use the money on if you won the $5,000?
I just want the money to spend on a dirt bike.
Alright, yeah, we're good. That is Tyler Courtney as our signed gentleman here tonight. I see Justin Peck, driver of the number 13. Alright, next up, number 6 judges, Amelia. Rico, get a look at that.
The blonde one was hot. The one with a tattoo.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, make a lot of noise for Amelia!
First round of qualifying here is going to be a complete front end change.
Gold Cup, we're always trying to like find things that are gonna be fun for the fans. We had a pit crew challenge. We had the Kenny Wallace pre-race show.
This kid that's on a tear right now, Corey Day. How about my hero, Rico Abreu and Chase Johnson?
I love being a race car driver. I'll drive a shopping cart if I could. Getting to have a good race like this in front of a national stage, especially it being $100,000 now to win. It definitely is life-changing, especially for our team. But to honestly just put your name on the board of winning the Gold Cup, I feel like is almost a little bit bigger.
For the 70th Gold Cup Race of Champions, absolutely jam-packed house here tonight. We are green. Off and running with the biggest event in California sprint car racing history. Corey Day shows the way down the back straightaway. Thorson to the inside of Abreu down the front straightaway. Tanner Thorson's car looks very strong early in the going in this one. Corey Day, that time by a 1.8 second advantage for the 18-year-old. The car looks still solid right now as traffic lies ahead. Corey Day, the next car you will lap is the 49 of Brad Sweet. Not going to be an easy car to put a lap down here. Day looks inside in turn 1, throws a slider on the current Kubota High Limit Racing points leader, puts him a lap down.
Kind of cruised around for, I'd say, the first 15, and we had a lot of cautions and a couple red flags. So for me, at least, I like to have a long run to where I can go run away and hide and lap traffic. But, when you have all those short runs, Rico's really good at just pouncing on restarts. So got to be on your game on restarts, especially, when Rico's behind you, and especially when it's $100,000 to win.
Oh, upside down front straightaway, it's Tanner Thorson. Red flag comes out. And he is climbing out of the Rod Gross Motorsports number 88 car. We're coming back to the green flag. Chris Windham, a good start on the outside, gets by Galdick for third, but Galdick's going to take that car right to the outside of the racetrack. And we got one upside down big time. It's the 24 Sia Chase Johnson. And the red flag immediately comes back out as Chase Johnson, tonight in his third career Gold Cup main event, gets airborne in the second corner.
Corey goes by and I'm watching, and all of a sudden I just see Chase's car go up in the air. And it came down flat. To myself, I went, that's one of those that hurts, because I've been there, done that. Through the red flag, and he wasn't getting out. The thing with the sprint cars, they can tumble and they can flip, but when they pancake and they come down flat, your butt goes up into your throat. It's just an accordion deal. Those are the worst crashes.
Chase Johnson suffering life-changing circumstances and an injury at Chico, California's Silver Dollar Speedway.
It's just such a helpless, unfortunate feeling, and I just feel so bad for Chase and the family of what they're going through. It's just, we know racing's a dangerous sport, and it's the unfortunate part of racing is, the sport we all love can sometimes be pretty brutal.
That's, the worst case almost in a race car when you crash. But it's a risk that you take in a race car every single time, is that you could not be able to get out of the race car, or you could not see life out of the race car after that.
We've been here at the hospital at UC Davis for almost exactly a month now.
Like I said, I can finally talk now, which is really great. It's been really a tough road to get to this point. The most pain I've ever experienced in my whole life. Didn't know that pain could be this hard, but I've been working really, really, really hard to get better.
It's just a dangerous sport, but we all know that and we all accept that.
Corey Day, Rico Abreu, and Shane Golick back underway. Corey Day on the top of the racetrack, pulling away by 7 or 8 car lengths. Corey Day is about to lap last year's second place finisher, Justin Sanders. Day around the outside will make his way by the Farmers Brewing number 2X car. Day bobbles on the cushion, gathers it back in, but that was a close call right there as Corey nearly lost the handle on that machine. Wheels up down the backstretch for Corey Day. You can tell he is absolutely on the gas right now.
Corey Day is a full send all the time, going 40 laps against the curb. He's a guy that likes to let it all hang out.
He can make his race car work anywhere. He's very good at manipulating that car to go wherever he needs to. But the kid prefers to just rip around the top. I mean, if he could have paint from the wall on his right rear every night, he would.
Day hooks the cushion, nearly dropped it off the edge of the racetrack right there. Holy cow, Corey Day throwing caution to the wind right now. And the question is, can he stay smooth on the top side of this racetrack? Hooks the cushion right there. Rico trying to pull off some last lap heroics. Day goes to the outside and turns 1 and 2. Abreu is close. Down the backstretch into 3 and 4 for the final time. It'll be the biggest payday of his career. Corey Day wins the Gold Cup Race of Champions. For the first time in over 10 years, we've got a back-to-back winner of the Gold Cup Race of Champions. It's 18-year-old Corey Day climbing up top. Make some noise for Corey Day!
The 70th annual Gold Cup Race of Champions for the second year in a row goes to 18-year-old Corey Day!
When you show up to a race you've won the year prior, you know you can do it, but to win a big race like that, all the cards still got to fall right. Your car's not good, or you draw a bad pill, or you don't qualify good, or anything can go wrong and that'll throw your whole weekend off. So for it to all go right 2 years in a row is really cool.
40 laps, starts from the pole, leads it all without a challenge. It was a well-earned victory for that kid. It's also the first time we had a back-to-back Gold Cup champion since the kid everyone compares Corey to, Kyle Larson, back in 2012 and 2013.
It's crazy. Kyle Larson has years of experience, and here's my kid, been doing this 3 years in a sprint car solid, and to be able to accomplish that, it's crazy.
When he's coming in to the cushion that hard, I'm already doing this because I know if I did that, I'm out of the place. And he wheels through it. He makes it work. And I'm just like, how did he do that? Those are Kyle Larson moves. Kyle, Rico, they do those things and get away with it. Corey's right there. It's like he just was able to get out of every situation, whether it be getting through lap traffic, running the cushion, like he just couldn't do no wrong. That was his race to win or lose.
Oh my God, son.
That emotion of winning, it's awesome and he's there, and then all of a sudden you realize that he's just won $100,000. I couldn't have dreamed that when I was racing. Like, my God, what's he gonna do with that, How am I gonna deal with him now?
There you go. Yep.
find this.
Did you find this thing?
You threw it out.
I tried to throw it at you.
Brad ran Gold Cup great. I think this is the best Gold Cup yet. You know, I think if he wants to win Gold Cup, he's going to have to choose to not promote it because I lapped him a couple times.
Gold Cup was a huge disappointment for our race team. You know, the Napa car is typically one of the favorites at Gold Cup. We've been in the top 2 or 3, you know, every year for a while. Track was wet, we were in the first heat and ended up running 5th, and the struggle was real. We had to run the B and start in the back of the A, and Corey was just so fast, and the pace he was setting was just kind of unbelievable. He was kind of in a league of his own. You know, I knew he was out there to try to win $100,000. You're just gonna drive at a little different level, you know, when you're in that situation. And once he lapped me, there's really not a whole lot I can do. I'm not the type of racer that's gonna go try to unlap myself or get in the guy's way. So kind of started to kind of get out of the way, and I just kind of chalked it up as, you know, tonight we're gonna finish the race. We're gonna move on as a race team, and we're gonna go start executing at a little higher level at the next few races to show them that we still got this. Whether or not the event pulled me in too many directions, the result wasn't what any of us wanted, so there's always gonna be doubt in the back of their minds that I wasn't 100% driver Brad Sweet that they're used to seeing. And it's hard to argue when you make mistakes, and like I did that weekend, and we weren't in contention to win, and I left there a little, you know, disappointed in myself that I made the mistake in the race on the prelim night that just put us back, and it was just too hard to overcome. And you have to look yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, you know, did you let the team down, or, you know, were you as focused as you needed to be? And I'm just in a unique spot, you know. I'm still driving at a very high level, trying to win a championship and trying to win these big races, but somewhat transitioning as I'm doing it into this other role of the track side and the series side. So I think it just is what it is. I want the best for my guys. I think they deserve the best version of me, but I think Gold Cup just might be one of those events that's always gonna be a little bit of a challenge, and hopefully next year I'll be able to just take even one more step back to just driving the car, you know, because I'd really love to win that event. It's something I don't have in my trophy case, and it's an event that's, you know, near and dear to my heart.
For the second year in a row, Corey Day locks up the victory in the cash prize at the Gold Cup Race of Champions. Fan favorite Rico Abreu comes in right behind him in second place for the final race on California soil. But it's Brad Sweet who underperforms on his home track. He'll have to double down next week if he wants to keep his overall lead alive.
Speed pallet! Fastest half mile on the East Coast!
When the National Series shows up, it's always Payday Posse versus High Limit.
Big time barrel rolling down the back straightaway.
I'm probably the realest sprint car driver in all of sprint car racing.
Pennsylvania's gonna hate me, but I hate that place.
Us local guys are committed to not letting outsiders come in here and win.
This is what happens when you hire somebody who don't know what. I'm gonna keep winning championships and talk a little along the way, and I can get knocked down, but I'm not gonna lose.
Welcome to PA Posse!